Can someone please tell these artists to stop hogging all the talent? Welcome to MsMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 mainstream artists who often sing in a different language. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we'll be excluding bands and limiting our selection to current performers, meaning that artists such as Selena, who regularly recorded songs in Spanish, but who was tragically killed in 1995, will not be included. Additionally, to make our list, the artist needs to regularly record full-length songs in a different language. Dropping a few words here and there on a track isn't enough. Number 10. Ricky Martin. For most of the English-speaking world, their introduction to Ricky Martin came with the release of his 1999 smash hit Living La Vida Loca. But his music career began much earlier. Born Enrique Jose Martin Morales in Puerto Rico in 1971, at the age of 12, he joined the Latin boy band Menudo. He released a slew of Spanish albums with the group before embarking on a solo career in 1991. Four Spanish albums later, and he was finally ready to make the jump to English in 1999. His self-titled English debut went on to become one of the best-selling albums of all time, and Martin has been a multilingual star ever since. Number 9. Nelly Furtado. Following the critical and commercial success of her 2006 album Loose, Canadian singer Nelly Furtado took a left turn and released an album entirely in Spanish. Mi Plan was Furtado's first foray into the Latin music world, and much like her English work, it was extremely well received by fans and critics alike. Furtado won Best Female Pop Vocal Album at the Latin Grammy Awards, and saw the album's lead single Manos El Aire make it to number 1 on the US Hot Latin Songs chart. Furtado is also perfectly capable of belting out a tune in Portuguese when the mood suits her, and has done so on numerous occasions since the age of 4. Number 8. Jennifer Lopez. Ironically, this famously multilingual singer and actress's breakthrough came when she portrayed another multilingual singer in the 1997 biopic Selena. The role earned her a Golden Globe nomination and served as a catalyst for a film and music career that has lasted more than 2 decades. During that time, Lopez has shown that she can belt it out with the best of them in English and in Spanish. Her first Spanish-language album, Como Ama Una Mujer, was released in 2007 and peaked at number 10 on the US Billboard 200. Number 7. Pitbull. Anyone who has been following this rapper's career knows that Mr. Worldwide likes to represent his heritage by sprinkling some Spanish throughout his albums. But it wasn't until 2010 that he released his first full-length Spanish album, Armando, sold more than 50,000 copies, and peaked at number 2 on the US Billboard Latin Albums chart. 5 years later, he released Dale, his sophomore Spanish album, and it won him a Grammy for Best Latin Rock, Urban, or Alternative Album. It was the rapper's first and to-date only Grammy win, so maybe he should consider giving Spanish-language music more of his time. Number 6. Björk. Björk was discovered at the tender age of 11 when a recording of her singing Tina Charles's I Love to Love was broadcast nationally across her home country in Iceland. She's spent the ensuing decades producing music in both English and Icelandic, and has won numerous awards for her contributions to the musical scenes of both languages. So what's the use? Wow! Of falling in love. Never one to conform to one particular genre or style, Björk has made a career out of her diverse musical abilities and has no doubt benefited from her ability to reach a wide range of audiences. Number 5. Christina Aguilera. Of Ecuadorian descent, Christina Aguilera grew up speaking Spanish around the house. As such, it wasn't exactly a complete surprise when she decided to follow up her massively successful debut album with one entirely recorded in Spanish. Mi Reflejo had big shoes to fill following in the footsteps of 1999's Christina Aguilera, but it more than lived up to the task. The album, which included 5 Spanish covers of songs from her previous album and 4 originals and 2 covers, peaked at number 1 on the top Latin albums chart and won Aguilera a Latin Grammy for Best Female Pop Vocal Album. Since then, Aguilera has continued to record the occasional Spanish track, but has mainly stuck to English. Number 4. Andrea Bocelli. As if becoming a world-renowned singer isn't already hard enough, Andrea Bocelli decided to up the ante by recording songs in not 1, not 2, not 3, but 6 different languages. The multilingual star has been known to belt out tunes in Italian, English, French, Spanish, Latin, and Portuguese. Bocelli has won more awards than we have time to list and has released 15 studio albums since 1994. His crossover appeal has turned him into an international star and has led to his songs and albums topping music charts around the world. Not bad for a small-town kid who was declared legally blind at the age of 12. Number 3. Enrique Iglesias. When people start referring to you as the king of Latin pop, we think it's safe to assume you're pretty good at singing in Spanish. Much like many of the other people on this list, Enrique Iglesias' other language is actually English, as he was born in Madrid and grew up in a Spanish-speaking household. Even though he's achieved pop superstardom in the English-speaking world, Iglesias has never stopped recording in his native tongue. He's released multiple Spanish-language albums throughout his career and has won countless awards for his multilingual work. Number 2. Shakira. Prior to stepping into the studio to record Laundry Service, her first primarily English album, Shakira had already sold more than 10 million albums in Latin America alone. When the Hips Don't Lie singer finally crossed over into the English-language pop scene, she saw her star rise to even greater heights. Nowadays, Shakira serves as a shining example of just what can be attained by a foreign language singer hoping to break into the world of English pop music. Her albums have sold upwards of 70 million copies, and she's performed all over the world, taking home numerous Grammys and Billboard Music Awards in the process. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
60 best of virgins who are leaving for the coast.
Number 1. Celine Dion. Coming in at number 1 is a woman who needs no introduction, as Celine Dion's music is as ubiquitous as Coca-Cola. Born in Quebec, Canada, Dion spent her youth honing what was to become one of the world's most well-known voices. Her 1995 album Deux became the best-selling French-language album of all time, and the inclusion of her smash hit My Heart Will Go On the Titanic soundtrack catapulted her to the top of the music world.
Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you.
Far from a two-trick pony, Dion has also recorded tracks in Italian, German, Spanish, Mandarin, Japanese, and Latin. Now, do you understand why she's one of the best-selling artists of all time? Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.